Let's go, let's move, side to side, let's go.
Hi everybody, my name is Junebug, and if we haven't met before, I'm Junebug, and if you have seen my videos before, welcome back, thanks for watching. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about my Final Fantasy XIV experience and journey. It's not the most exciting, but it is a very personal game that I have a very personal relationship with. Can I get any more personal than that? Yeah, I figured I would talk about not really just my journey, but also the reason why I took a break from it, and that I even had a little bit of nerves and anxiety coming back to 14 and even dabbling a little bit into content creation within the 14 category. If you're not into like these personal types of things, I completely understand, but if you want to stick around and maybe share your experiences with 14, I would love to hear them if you do play the game and stuff, because I really love this game, but I do definitely have a very complicated sort of relationship with it. Let's just get right into it. If you also like the video, consider liking and subscribing, maybe leaving a comment. It really does mean a lot to me. I really like getting to know you guys and getting in touch with my YouTube community, so yay. Alright, so I started playing Final Fantasy XIV in September of 2020, and just like everybody else, we were all locked down in quarantine, and the only game I've been playing up until this point was League of Legends. I played League of Legends during quarantine, like 6 hours a day. It was really bad, but I still love the game and have a lot of fondness in my heart. I still am playing the game nearly every day. But I got into 14 because I saw so many G poses on Twitter and everyone was like, oh, 14, this is a really good game. But I was a little bit intimidated until my friends were either trying it out for the first time alongside with me, or they had already played before and were getting back into the game because, hey, it's quarantine and we have nothing to do and we can't even see each other in person anyways, right? I got into the game, I picked up my Aura and she's really cute and I love her. And I skipped through most, if not all, of the Realm Reborn cutscenes because I was like, oh, apparently it's not needed. Don't worry, I did replay Realm Reborn on an alt and I watched all the cutscenes. But during this time that I was getting into 14, especially like Heavensward onwards, I kind of began to struggle with a lot of things in my real life and personal life. I ended up going through a friendship falling out with the people that I got into 14 with. I don't really like going into details of that just to be respectful of everyone's information, and again, it was also like years ago. But that was very difficult on me. I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can really play this game anymore because it makes me sad. And I would spend a lot of time in 14 kind of just like trying to reestablish my relationship with the game, while also trying to drown out like all of these very sad and negative feelings in my life, you know? So a little quick note, I actually got through Heavensward to Shadowbringers within the span of like 3 to 4 months. I finished Shadowbringers in December of 2020, and keep in mind, I said that I started Final Fantasy XIV in September of 2020. I regret not taking my time. So that's always my number one advice for Sprouts. But anywhoosies, when I got done with Shadowbringers, I decided that I wanted to Savage Raid, and I got in with kind of a different group of friends, and then I went into PF and recruited some people, and lo and behold, we had a raid group, and I love them very much. They're like my family, and I was really thankful. But on top of that too, I really wanted to make 14 friends. I wanted to make more 14 friends, so I decided to check out the stream community, and I had a really great time, and I felt like, wow, this is a very great and welcoming community and stuff. And so what happened is that I decided, you know, I also want to stream Final Fantasy XIV because I like to share things that I'm passionate about, and Final Fantasy XIV was my passion for the time, so I decided to give it a try, and it was very difficult because it was a drastic content change from the Nintendo variety I was doing before, and I had people say, oh, I like your streams, but I don't really like Final Fantasy. When are you gonna play something else? When are you gonna stream something else? So I was streaming Final Fantasy XIV like 3 days a week at least, sometimes 4 days a week, for about 3 to 4 hours. And then I would raid on the weekends for at least 6 hours. 3 hours on Friday, 3 on Saturday. And then when I got into ultimate raiding, such as Uwu and T, I would sometimes be raiding just every night for 3 hours at least. And sometimes one of those hours would just be waiting in PF for a party to fill. And then the other 3 hours plus would be just inting and dying and struggling and studying mechanics and all that jazz. If you guys do ultimates, you know the drill. It was a lot of time to be playing 14 to a point where I started to burn out. Not to mention, I didn't really have the greatest experience at FanFest in Vegas. So that kind of contributed to a lot of like, I'm not really sure how I feel about this game anymore. I decided that once I got done with FanFest Vegas and was suffering from COVID brain fog, that I would just take a break, you know. I wasn't really playing the game anymore. I was fading out. I couldn't find the motivation to do more DSR. I couldn't find the motivation to finish up P12S. And I figured if I'm not playing the game much anyways, I'm just going to unsub and save my money, and, you know, maybe when Dawn Trail comes back, I'll feel the hype. Once I separated myself from the game and just kind of focused on doing other games, going back to variety streaming and stuff, I felt like it was the first time I could let my relationship with 14 heal. And I remember I decided, I'm like, you know, I want to try streaming it a go again. Not that I really do much anything interesting. I just do dailies. I felt very welcomed back. And I felt also just really happy that people that found me because of Final Fantasy XIV. There were some people that of course left, which is to be expected whenever you do some sort of content shift, but I felt really happy that there were people that stayed and, you know, actually got to know me and enjoyed whatever I did. And thank you if you're one of those people. Like, I really, really heckin' appreciate you. I don't know, I had anxiety coming back to 14, especially content creation, because I thought, I'm like, am I a traitor? Are people even gonna want to see me back in this category? And all that jazz. But now I've kind of just come to this point where I've grown a lot as a person. A lot of the insecurities I've had, while I can still be insecure about things just because I'm a person, I'm a human being, I feel so much better. I feel like I have such a great mindset and attitude coming back to 14 where I want to do ultimates and raids again, but I'm not going to push myself to the point where I get burned out. I'm excited for Dawn Trail. I'm honestly just enjoying this little content drought of only doing these Manderville relics because I'm like, hey, I can kind of be in my Dragoon training arc. I can just enjoy my time slowly but surely. And also I remained friends with the people I've met in 14, you know, even if they moved on from other games or if they still play 14. I definitely encourage people to take breaks from games if they feel like it's not serving them in the moment. I know that Yoshi P kind of structures the game where he wants you to take breaks to play other games, from my understanding, or to take care of your other life things. And I know for some people it's like, hey, if you have a hyperfixation like me, all you want to do is play this game and AFK at your house or in Limsa. I don't really like hanging out in Limsa or really in public anymore. I don't like being perceived. I don't know. I'm scared. But I just feel better, you know? So if you have found me through my 14 stuff that I post every once in a blue moon, or if you just kind of stumble across me and were like, hey, I want to hear this girl's story for some reason, I want to say thank you. And also, as someone getting back into 14, I'm really shy and cautious when it comes to asking people to play with me that are not already in my inner circle, but like, I love hearing about people's Warriors of Lights, hearing about people's raiding experiences as a fellow raider, or just their relationship with the game, because it's a very, very unique and personal experience, I feel. A lot of people I talk to about 14, it feels like this game is very, very, very connected to their heart, and that's definitely how I feel. And despite me having a complicated relationship with this game, I feel ready to dive back into it. I'm super excited for Dawn Trail. I'm excited for the graphical updates. Albeit, I know that there's been issues with it for some people, but I'm really excited either way. I am ready for Estinian cutscenes. I don't know about you guys. If you're not into Estinian, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm into Graha. Okay, I see how it is. And I respect that. Anyways, thank you so much again for listening to my story. and watching my videos. It really, really means a lot to me. Again, if you like the video, please consider leaving a like, comment about your own experiences with M14, and even subscribing. It would really mean a lot to me. And if you want to subscribe to my Twitch channel, feel free to at twitch.tv/JunieBug. I love hanging out with my community and meeting new people. And if you just want to lurk or chat, please feel free to do so. Alright, have a good time zone. I love you, care you. Bye bye!